Oh, yeah. I think I'm gonna just make one more video and then I'm gonna move to a different location. Seems kind of busy today. Yes. Now, when I was reading the Department of Justice information, the documentation, it said that if you receive in any format a written complaint of any citizen, yes, there's an obligation to document those. And you thought that we just cover up the fraud of not acknowledging the actual rights of citizens. Pooch. Now, I do remember that fraud can be a triple damages, and I'm really thinking today of various ways that I could enrich myself at your expense. Now, I know it's a beautiful day out, and you don't want to actually fill out any forms, and then you said, well, he didn't fill out the right form, but as long as it's a written complaint, I think it qualifies as a complaint. Now, when we go through every email that I've sent for the last 3 years, yes, I just want to make sure exactly what police and sheriff's departments received emails from me. It could be that the sheriffs in Arizona might want to fill out a complaint form from a citizen about not enforcing the laws. Yes. Now, I'm not in a hurry today, okay? Oh, my thought is I'm going to take all the time I need to document as much damages as possible so as to be able to sue each and every county that has any knowledge. Did you go on Facebook and get a copy of the email? I know if you downloaded a copy of the email, even though I didn't email it to you, it's still a complaint. And for each state legislature, pouch, that has any knowledge of the fraud of denying American citizens the equal protections of the law, I had planned on suing you. Why do we run through the oaths, the badges, the attorneys that have an obligation that even if I'm not a client, that they do have to document every written complaint of every citizen about refusing to enforce the Constitution of the United States? Now, I'm sitting here with $1 in my pocket, yes, thinking that there are those in office that wanted to commit the crime of fraud of denying the written, documented complaints of citizens as if they do not have to respond. Pooh! Now, there could be some good-sized lawsuits in this because when you deprive me of my equal protections of the law and you refuse to acknowledge the requirements of the law and you just want to say the guy's crazy, we don't have to fill out a complaint form. Pooh! I would think that I actually could sue you. Yes. See this concept of the mental health evaluation and the creation of fraudulent mental health directives? Yes. And then the fraudulent use of the mail to defraud Americans of their rights? Yes. And every time I sent an email, every day, I think you as law enforcement are obligated to document those as real complaints from a real citizen. Now, I mentioned in 2011 that Heidi abducted my sons and I was on probation. Yes. And there are some other concerns that I have because my cell phone hasn't been able to update even though I've deleted quite a few documents. So looks like I'll just spend the day going through some additional documents, the 150 documents that I've downloaded on my cell phone. Well, I think it's a national fraud, isn't it? Pooch. You refuse to acknowledge a written document, yes, known as an email, that is in the form necessary to document a complaint. And then you thought, well, we're not going to fill out any forms. We're going to commit the fraud of depriving Americans of their rights. And then I'm going to sue you. Each and every police department that got a copy of any of the emails, even though I didn't email you, you decided to download it from my drive. Now, I've sent, well, let's see, 3 years, 365, approximately 1,000 variations. Usually I make a slight adjustment every evening. Yes, could be 2,000 different kinds of emails, all inclusive of some evidence supporting my complaint as a citizen of this great nation. So why don't we go through the drives again and get me the IP addresses and the actual employees of every form of government of the United States, yes, that have the legal obligation to document their knowledge of any complaints of any... Well, somebody better get to filling out forms today then, shouldn't you? Shouldn't ya? It's a triple damages day. The fraud, yes. Just get me every email I've sent, yes. And every variation of every email, yes. And then every email address that I personally emailed, yes. And then every email address of every employee of this government, and any government that has knowledge that I've documented the crime. It's a triple damages day. I'm going to want some money today. Do you understand, Sheriff? I'm going to want a lot of money.